There has been a fire reported in the building. Please proceed to the nearest exit and leave the building.
This is just a drill.
That's 98 security. Floor 2 is clear.
Veterans Day, 2010.
Out and about. It's a beautiful day here today, obviously. Some snow falling up north here in Anchorage, Alaska. Dipping through some trails here. It's a nice little park. Off the beaten path trails like this. Simply come on upward. Here's a trail somebody made. That was nice of them. Someone shot through here at some point. This groomed trail here, well, obviously somebody put some effort into making that one too. Lots of times in life, you'll find that people have cleared the path for you, and you should respect that. And you should maybe do your part to help keep that path clear for the people behind you that might need the assistance. But in life, there's people that walk the path that was made for them, and there's people that live differently and like walking other ways. So let's talk about other ways. Because following the beaten path nowadays doesn't seem to be doing well for anybody. When our forefathers came here, this is more of what it looked like, and what they had to deal with, and what they had to overcome and persevere through. They didn't simply have a path cleared for them. I respect that a lot. Lots of times in my life, I've found myself in circumstances where I knew the only reason that I was going to get out of the circumstance was because somebody else had the foresight to prepare for that day, because they had the experience to know that that day was coming. That sometimes the dark days happen. And it's usually only the people that have been there before that can see such things or speak of such things. Other folks don't really seem to understand adversity, having most of their lives walked on a well-cleared path. Yesterday, for example, went for a walk right out of the house, down to the train tracks on a trail system that we frequent And fortunately for us on that day, one of our neighbors promptly yelled out the window to us to inform us that there were 2 bull moose right around the corner that we couldn't see, that were on our standard path. They would have got us pretty fast. Definitely didn't see them. But it's assistance of others on our paths that should also be respected. And the choice of others in their paths. Just because I choose my path, I have to respect the paths that others choose. And that respect is a term that I think has confused a lot of people today. Because by respect, I actually mean support. If you can't support people in their distinctly different position than you, you may be part of the problem of what's going on in the country contemporarily. The ability to agree to disagree. The idea of protecting that right is one of the core values that our founding fathers understood. We're not a homogeneous nation in the slightest, but we are unified in our beliefs to promote the individuality of opinion and lifestyle. And as we see today, many people are trying to make everybody the same. Look at your faces. I would call that a perfect example. She seems to be very fit. I don't know why she's wearing a mask. It saddens me, because that was someone who was going down the beaten path, and they had a mask on. But that's okay. I support them in their decision. If that's what they think is for their health and safety, I welcome them to that activity and that implement. Me, I will just cross these paths whilst finding my own. Watch out for ankle snappers, but it's okay. Pretty sure this is the area I came through the other day. It was pretty nice. It's a lot colder the other day though, technically. I might have a little bit more gear on than I would need. One with, one without. But back to freedom of choice and supporting that. We are a republic, folks. We're not a democracy. We're not a majority rule. We are not led by the mob mentality. We are not do what everybody says. Our Constitution, our rule of law, is in support of individual rights against the opinions of others. Freedom is an individual choice and not something that can be forced upon someone. It's that simple. Our founding fathers were here today. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin. I mean, don't think they'd be wearing masks. I don't think they would be calling our society the freedom festival that they were hoping it would be. I think they'd have a lot of hard questions for the average American citizen. I have a lot of hard questions for the average American citizen. What do you call tyranny? What do you call freedom? What do you call the pursuit of life and liberty? What are impediments to that? At what point in time does somebody else's opinion matter to yours and your pursuit if it stops you? What would you be willing to do to overcome that obstacle if somebody tried to stop you in your pursuit of life and liberty and happiness? Hey, the water's edge. Cool, cool, cool. So, here we are, folks. The water's edge. Winter 2020. I originally came from New York, and I'm familiar with the history of our great nation and its birth. And oftentimes I think of what George Washington did crossing the Hudson during the dead of winter to get that revolution started. I think people forget the lengths to which great Americans will go to do what's right in support of the freedoms and the liberties of our neighbors. It's the right thing to do. I want people to start resisting more. I want people to start doing what's right for their neighbor, regardless of whether they agree with it or not. If your neighbor asks you one morning to help them build a fence, you can either help them or you can't. You don't criticize their choice of fence, their tools to use it. You just give them a hand. It's their job. It's what they want to do. And if you can't get your ego out of that equation, then you're the problem. Be supportive in people's decisions. Help them in their pursuit of their goals. And watch how fast they'll help you back. It's called friendship. We used to do this back in the day before computers. It was pretty interesting. Actually, having friends and things like that. I don't know that people even can appreciate that anymore nowadays. This is what it is. But today, it's about unity. It's about support. It's about choosing your path and supporting those on theirs. That's what I think we need to do. Talk to each other, help each other, do the right thing. If you see this video, share it, like, subscribe. Help me out. Help me to help other people. Don't forget, any content creator that you see, any of the work that they're doing, share that stuff, promote it. There's a hard push nowadays for this stuff to be shut down, shadow banned, whatever the words are that you want to call it. But it's happening. Everybody can see it. The powers that be slowing everything down, the dissemination of truth. But I'm working on things. I have friends. I have friends that want to see me do well. I have friends that understand the mission that I have taken on, that there is a truth to be told, that many people share in this truth and need a safe place to speak, to share their info. And I am doing due diligence. There are great things in the work. There are more platforms coming to bear that did not exist before. And look to be building up some of my own with the help of my friends. Bring more people together, have more conversations with real folks, trying to make real change in real time. You may not believe this, folks, but I am roasted. It's like 30 degrees out. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Ah, that's thorny as could all be. Woo. Do-do-do. Sometimes life brings thorns. Here in Bolivia, it brings a lot of thorns. Do-do. Da-da. More folks, cyclists. Well, I'm very happy to see people out and about. I hope everybody else that's watching this video is not cooped up inside, is not following the orders. Resist. Soon they're going to try to make you take a shot. I don't recommend you do that. But hey, your choice. Did I lose my spikes? No, I got them.